Hello and welcome to the Team Tonic podcast. My name is Scott and today we're joined by Tonic regular James to talk about his first team draft. It's a little mini series that we're doing to try and give everyone a bit of an idea of people's thinking and different managers' ideas as we go into the new season. Because we did our team reveals the other day, or our first drafts. We spend a lot of time talking to each other and the teams were quite similar. So we're going to try and expand out to a few more managers across the few weeks until the start of the season and get some ideas. James, we do talk to you on a regular basis as well, so you might still be at danger of being a little bit similar. But did you want to talk us through your team? I'm already seeing a few different names there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on. So yeah, I've not seen anyone's draft with McCarthy in goal. And 1.5 million. So Bazunu was the number one choice last year until he ruptured his Achilles. Then McCarthy came in and did quite well. So in the end of the summer, he signed a new 2-year contract. Bazunu is he's out until 2025. So that I think unless they buy a replacement, which is possible because Russell Martin prefers goalkeepers that are comfortable in possession with the ball. Alex McCarthy is probably not that. But whether they want to spend their limited budget on another goalkeeper when they've got Bazunu coming back, who knows? So right now, it would appear that Alex McCarthy is probably going to start the season. My only concerns there, of course, is that at 1.5 million, if he doesn't play for any reason, then I've got probably going to have to make 2 transfers to get rid of him. So I wouldn't say he was nailed in my side. The fixtures are okay. They've got Newcastle away to start, which isn't great. Then Forest at home, then a Carabao Cup fixture, then Brentford and Man U. So a bit of a mixed bag there for a newly promoted side.
Could make plenty of saves as well with those fixtures.
Well, you would think so, yeah. I mean, I looked at some of the other keepers like Flecken. He was 2.5, but Brentford's fixtures aren't particularly nice.
Yeah, I've not seen many 1.5s in there. Obviously, we had Johnson last year, didn't we? But not seen many people with a 1.5 keeper, so that you could be on there.
And I mean, it is a bit of a risk right now. But I think if they don't, like I said, if they don't buy anybody, then I think it could be a potential, little bargain really. So I can invest up further up the field. Mm-hmm. Do we think goalkeepers are going to get more points this year from the rule changes? Weren't those rule changes in for the Euros? It didn't make any difference, did it? So
I don't think it made a massive difference, did it? I think Dubravka was the best for bonus, and I think he got about on average 1 a game. So it's not huge, but I mean it could benefit the lower price goalkeepers though to have more to do potentially. So we'll have to wait and see. I think.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 sort of premium-ish picks in defence. So I've gone with Porro. He's already scored a couple of goals in pre-season. He's played more minutes than any other Spurs player in pre-season so far, and we know what he brings attacking-wise. And maybe he'll steal some of those free kicks and set plays back off of Maddison, who hasn't looked good.
I'm getting worried about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you listen to Planet FPL, you wouldn't have Maddison in your side.
Yeah, I listened to that. So I think I listened to that episode that you spoke about the other day. Yeah, he's not hot on him at all, is he, James?
No, James is not hot on him at all. So, and he's obviously a massive Spurs fan, so he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I probably wouldn't go with Maddison. I've got another potential option that we'll discuss in a bit.
Yep.
In midfield for that. So yeah, I mean, I think he could be a great bet. The only con, of course, is that Spurs are pretty leaky in defence, and I don't really see that changing. Ange is not the sort of manager who'll park the bus or shut up shop. That's not his philosophy. But there weren't that many clean sheets last year in total anyway, were there? I mean, it was different.
Not outside of my lot.
Yeah. So I've got him in there at the moment. He's not nailed in my side, but I think he could be a good option. He's got Leicester up first, then he's got Everton. They won't be playing in the Carabao Cup this round because obviously they've got Europe now. And then the fixtures turn a bit. I mean, by the time they get to Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, if he's in my side at the start of the season, then that might be a hop-off point if he's not looking amazing. Give him Leicester and Everton, see how he gets on. Take him out for a Carabao Cup player, maybe. I don't know.
I think a few of you that are already on Porro would just hope that he calms down a little bit now till the start of the season, because the longer it goes on, the more people that are spotting him, I think.
Yeah. 4 million is not a bad price for him, I think. My most expensive defender is Guardiola. I think I remember you talking about him in your team draft. Didn't you say you really wanted him, but you couldn't fit him in or something like that?
No, I actually started with Robertson in that one. I'm actually surprised to see no Liverpool, considering you're a Liverpool fan, for those that don't know. I started with Robertson in that position, but once I heard he got injured, I moved to Vardiol. I did just about manage to get him in. Yeah,
so I mean, I'm pretty sure I remember you saying he finished the season on fire, didn't he? I mean, he could be the new Cancelo, and that's quite an exciting option. If he can pick up where he left off, then wow, what an asset he could be. One assist so far in pre-season. He's only played 78 minutes so far though, so but I see him probably being first choice, but clearly Man City have a lot of options that could also play there. Probably not somebody that's naturally left-sided like him, but there is the concern, of course, that he plays left centre-back and not left-back and things like that. So again, he's not nailed. I'll be keeping a close eye on pre-season. Obviously, the Community Shield might shed some more light on it. Give us a chance to give a closer look.
That would be an interesting one, that Community Shield, because he's played centre-back in pre-season. So that assist he got at centre-back. So he's still getting them from there. But yeah, I think because they've got so many of their centre-halves were involved in Europe or in the Euros, he's having to fill in at centre-back at the minute, alongside Calvin Phillips at centre-back in pre-season.
I saw the team sheet, and they had like two. There was a completely makeshift defence. Clearly, all their defenders have been off at the Euros. So
surely he's back to normal once that Community Shield comes around. You'd hope.
You would think so, yeah. The fixtures are pretty good, although arguably with Man City, you don't really need to look at the fixtures. And they've just whooped Chelsea, that was obviously at a neutral ground. I'm not sure it will be quite as one-sided, perhaps, as it was yesterday against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But in that second game, of course, they've got Ipswich, which is obviously something that potentially on target. Yeah. And my cheap defender is Barco. I'll be totally honest, I haven't really considered him until Ben was talking about him I think it was Ben anyway, in your team reveals stream. And at 2 million with a Estupiñán out injured, and I've been following I'm on a WhatsApp group with lots of Brighton fans, and they're all saying, he's definitely going to play in Estupiñán's place. So at 2 million, there's not many cheap 2 million defenders that you could say you'd want to put in. So I think it's almost a no-brainer. I can see a lot of people going with him.
Seems to be taking corners as well. Apparently puts in a really nice corner. Gross is gone, isn't he? Who was the main set piece taker? So could step up there.
So he could be a great little enabler, couldn't he? Moving on to midfield, I've got Palmer in there. No pre-season minutes so far. Obviously, he went to the final with England. So, but you know, he's Chelsea's talisman on penalties. You know, he's a fantastic player. But he's up against City first game. But I don't think that's necessarily a problem. So Chelsea have great fixtures apart from game week one. Arguably against City's obviously not a good fixture, but Man City don't always start the season that on fire.
No, true.
And Guardiola's already said he's not gonna bring back the Euro players too soon. He wants to give them a break. He's very much on player welfare, and he's got one eye on keeping them fit for the whole season. So it wouldn't be a massive surprise if Palmer popped up with a goal against City. I think he scored against them last year. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
No, he definitely did.
Yeah, and he's a bit pricey at 6 million, but if you look at his points last year, I mean, pretty good, pretty decent. Well, very, very good returns. I suppose a lot of those were probably quite a few of those were penalties. Will they get quite as many? I don't know. But I think he's a great option. And like I said, the fixtures after City are Wolves, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. They've got a really nice run, actually. It goes further than that. I've only put 5 fixtures on my short-term plan.
They're nice.
Yeah.
And obviously, they will have Europe if they win their qualifying round as well. So could be a decent hold there. It's a bit of a surprising one with Palmer because I think he's the most highly owned player in Dream Team at the minute. I don't see him in that many teams in the sort of online circles. I don't know if it's because of Europe.
Are you trying to suggest I'm a casual?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I actually think he's going to start. I do think he's going to start, but I think it's the City game that's putting a lot of people off.
Yeah, probably. That doesn't put me off for the reasons I've said. I would not be surprised at all if he got an attacking return. I mean, clearly I'm going to be watching. He's not come back. I imagine he'll be back soon for pre-season.
Yeah. He wasn't heavily involved, was he, in the Euros?
No, he wasn't. But it was more about getting time off, I suppose. I've seen pictures of him on the beach with a couple of.
Yeah, I see that. Enjoying himself.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
So, yeah. Next one, I might be a surprise. I don't think I've seen Brennan Johnson in many drafts. But you have 3 million for a Spurs attacker. I think's good value. And there's rumours again. Like I said, I listen to quite often. Certainly in pre-season, I listen to the Planet FPL pod. They think he might get the number 9 role because Sonny. A lot of people say Sonny is definitely better coming in from the left. So
yeah.
And there's rumours that Richarlison might go. Although I have also heard that they are looking for another striker. So who knows?
Yeah,
but
linked to Solanke today, it was.
Yeah.
Either Johnson or Kulusevski, they're saying, aren't they? Could be like a false 9 in that team. Be interesting to see.
I think Kulusevski played false 9 in their last pre-season game.
Yeah. I like this pick a lot. I'm looking forward to hearing this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got 1 goal, 1 assist so far in pre-season. I mean, I wouldn't say there is possible rotation risk there, but I would see him playing the majority of minutes. I suppose he's up against Kulusevski. Kulusevski is his main threat, unless, of course, one of those does, like I said, play the number 9 role. We'll have to keep an eye on transfers. Obviously, the transfer window is going to be open until the end of August, isn't it? So the risk there, of course, is you put him in for game week 1. They haven't bought anyone yet, and then 1 week into the season, they bring in someone else. But we've got. It's not like the game used to be. We've got 2 transfers a week, so I think you can afford to take a few risks. And I think at 3 million, he could prove to be a bargain.
especially if he hits those attacking returns. I was shocked. As soon as I saw him in your team, I had a quick look, and yes, 17 attacking returns for the season.
Yeah.
No, that's a surprise. Five goals, 12 assists. I reckon
He's only going to get better. He didn't join. I think he joined fairly late in the window, didn't he? And he's a young player. He's only going to get better. I think he had a few injury issues last year, so yeah, I think it could be his season. We'll see. One to keep an eye on for sure. I'm not saying he's nailed in my draft. You know, these drafts, they change every day, don't they? Mine changed this morning, and I'll tell you what I changed in a minute. So I've also got Slobberslide in there. 1 goal in pre-season so far. Clearly oozes class as a player. I think he'll fit into Arne Slot's philosophy quite well. I imagine he'll be taking quite a few free kicks. And yeah, I've only seen him play I've only watched a bit of the pre-season game he played, but he did look good. But of course, you're never sure when a new manager comes in. Like I said, you've got the likes of Trent, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes, all coming back into training today. I mean, so what we've seen so far in pre-season could well go completely out the window now that all those players are back. And there's only one pre-season friendly left next Saturday, so I'll be keeping a close eye on that. You would think he would probably go with what he thinks is potentially his strongest side to start the game, and then make some subs because they're going to need some time to get up to speed. But I like the look of Slobberslide. Again, he's not nailed in my side. Not many players are nailed right now, apart from some of the forwards, I think.
I like that one. I was going to ask you actually what you thought. If you've got any sort of more inside information or any Liverpool-based knowledge on, because I feel like either him or McAllister is going to really go off under the new manager, but I just can't decide which one at the moment. Well,
I'll tell you what, Harvey Elliott is the one that's impressed so far in this tour of the States. He's looked really, really lively. But playing in more of a number 10 role. So, I mean, he could be someone to look at, but he probably won't be taking any set pieces. That's the thing. And we've got so many options in and around there. There's going to be some rotation, I'm sure. And we don't really know what Arne Slot's lineup's going to look like. I don't think we will until a few games into the season, really.
It might just stick with what worked pre-season.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey Elliott starts the first game of the season based on current form. I mean, Cavalier's looked decent as well, by the way.
Yeah. Scored against Milo.
He's got a lot of talent. So what was that?
He scored against Arsenal, I think, in that pre-season game.
Yes. So
and again against United. Yeah, against United last night as well.
2-2. Yeah. But I would say because of his age and the amount of options we've got on that left-hand side, I would say I reckon he probably will make the squad, and I think he'll probably be more likely to be an impact player off the bench, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And my fourth and final midfield pick is the bonus point magnet. With fantastic fixtures, but no pre-season yet, and it's Eze. They've got a decent-ish run of fixtures, I'd say, with Brentford away, West Ham at home, Carabao Cup, Chelsea away, Leicester. That's not a bad run, and they looked good under the new manager at the end of last season. My only concern is that, obviously, with Elise gone, he might not have that attacking partnership, that foil, someone to play off. And we've not yet seen him in pre-season because, obviously, he was away with England. So, right now he's in the team based on their Crystal Palace's decent fixtures, and the fact that he's literally a bonus point magnet. So that's why I've stuck him in there.
Yeah, no arguments for that one. I'm pretty certain he'll start for me.
So I think the forwards is looking like there's going to be a template up front this year to start the season anyway. Clearly, most people are going to go with Haaland. I think I couldn't go. He's got 5 goals in pre-season now. He got 3 yesterday.
Anyone that didn't have him saw yesterday against Chelsea. Was it might have been first half hat trick even. There was 2 in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I haven't watched that game yet. I might try and go back and see if I can at least watch the highlights. I did see some of the goals. What more can you say? He's nailed in my side unless he's injured. There were rumours that he was going to miss. He might miss this game because he has had some niggles, but clearly he's fine.
Recharged.
Yeah. So this morning, I did not have Mo Salah in my side. I had Ollie Watkins, believe it or not, and I had 1 million in the bank. And then I watched Liverpool versus Man United last night, and Salah looked good, and I just thought, can't go without Salah. With Ipswich up first, I think it's too. He could go off in that game. I'm not sure he's going to. 7 million's a lot of money, and there are some other. I think there are some potential bargains up front. And that's the problem with this template of Haaland, Isak, Salah, is that you might be missing out on some real cheaper assets that, points per million. The points per million that they're going to return is quite considerable. So, but everyone will just go, right, we've got to get the best attackers. So one tactic this year might be to go against that. But given they've got Ipswich first game, he's looked good in pre-season. And I looked at Villa's fixtures and they're a bit mixed. So I swapped. I brought Salah in for Watkins this morning. Because I just don't think I can go without him.
Not got the armband on him though currently. I know.
No, sorry, I didn't update my captaincy when I changed I changed things around. So ignore the captain and vice captain on there.
Oh, the guy it's on is not a bad shout either.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Isaac at home against Southampton. Southampton, I've been reading that they're not going to park the bus. Russell Martin said he's going to go for it in every game, even if that means they lose. When you hear things like that, you think, well, if they're up against a stronger side, and you can see, it's like at St James's Park, first game of the season, that crowd's going to be roaring. You wouldn't. I think Isaac could be a good captaincy option for the first game. Yeah.
With your striker goalkeeper pairing, you'll be hoping for a lot of shots on target, but not too many goals.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't thought about that until you said you've got to consider these matchups, but it's difficult, isn't it?
It's going to happen eventually, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I've got Isaac in there. 3 goals in pre-season so far. No European distractions this year. Hopefully that will give him a bit more rest, because clearly on the flip side, his injury record isn't the best. And he's not. If you flog a player like that, he's going to break down, I think. So there might be some rotation up there. Is Wilson available at the moment? I haven't looked into that.
I'm not sure. I've not seen much of him recently. No.
Yeah. So I don't know. Clearly, he's the number 1 striker there now. He's proven that. He's got an eye for goal. Arsenal are interested in him, aren't they? Apparently.
I think we were interested in him before he went to Newcastle, I think. But I can't see that happening, to be honest. No, I think he's probably quite happy at Newcastle, I reckon, at the minute. They do a good job of keeping hold of their big players. I would like it. I would like it, though. I'd like it a lot.
I'm sure they'll figure out a way to fiddle the finances to keep him somehow. Be sponsored by Abu Dhabi Airlines or something like that. Yeah.
No comment. We'll get a letter through the door. No, I like that though. That's it looks strong, and as well at the start when we first saw these prices, a lot of people said, I can't make a good team with both Haaland and Salah, but I think that's got most bases covered. I think really, I'd much rather that scenario of having your enablers in goal and in defence than not be able to get a Salah in for the first game week.
Yeah.
I think so. No, I like that a lot.
Yeah. There are some potential holes in this. So
No
I
Arsenal?
really would like. Well, there's no Arsenal, but their fixtures aren't brilliant to start,
Yeah.
and you'd probably be looking at Saka, and he hasn't come back. When's he back from training?
Today.
Do you know?
I think it's today. Yeah.
So there's a Saka, maybe Foden hole there somewhere, but Foden's probably not going to start the first game, I imagine. He might come on as sub or something.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to jig that around at some point in the season. But yeah, Foden's second at the moment. Who knows? I mean, coming back late from the Euros, not amazing fixtures for Arsenal, is it? So I think I'm going to go without for now, but I might have to find a way to fit them in. I would love to get Trent in here because I think he could be epic in Arne Slot's new system. But clearly he's only come back for training today, so that's one to wait and see. I'll be keeping an eye on that. I'm not sure how I'd fit him in right now because he is that little bit more expensive, but I've got a feeling he could be a great option this year. And I think I'm a little bit heavier in defence than some sides I've seen. Any thoughts on that?
I don't mind it because the expensive players you've got are basically attackers in one sense, aren't they? With Vardiol and Porro. So yeah, I don't mind that at all, really. As long as it's like I've argued about the Arsenal defenders with a few people that they're not as attacking as a Vardiol or a Porro. So to put like a 5 mil defender there from Arsenal, for example, doesn't feel worth it. But yeah, I think the two you've got there, I like them.
Cool. Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll see later on in the season how many of these remain. None of it's legally binding, so you're free to still make changes. But it's useful for people, isn't it? I think to get an idea of the thinking behind picking players. Yeah.
Hopefully people will find this useful. I'm looking forward to. I know you've got some other ones planned, so I'm looking forward to watching those. And I enjoyed the team reveals that you did last week. If anyone's not signed up, they should definitely sign up to Dream Team Tonic so that they can get involved. Basically, the Discord's amazing, and of course you get to join in on the live streams. So yeah, I've done your bit for you, haven't I?
Perfect. Yeah, no more to add for me. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll have a few more of these coming between now and the start of the season. So yeah, cheers, James. Good to chat to you again.
I'll speak to you soon, no doubt.
Yeah, chat to you later. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.